Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another video. Yesterday we did talk about some maps and what we could expect, maybe some community created content at some point with the maps. If you missed that video, be sure to go check it out. It's the one before this one. If you go to the channel or click in the top right corner here, the little eye symbol, and you'll be taken right to that video. Before we get into this one, leave a like, subscribe with those notifications on, and if you subscribe, you're a real soldier with golden helmets. I appreciate you a lot. Thank you very much. Like or dislike, do that later on when you've made your mind up if it's worth the like or the dislike. Alright, let's get right into this one. This is something that I'm really interested in. And this kind of ties into with the map discussion or the map video we had yesterday, where we kind of talk a little bit about how we think maps and other things will change in Chivalry 2 when the game goes live. But this is a little different in the way of mods. Now, I remember playing Chivalry 1, and I played on a custom server that had the, I think it was called the Black Knight mod. It's basically, the name is from Monty Python, where he meets the Black Knight in the forest that is guarding a little passage, and he ends up making him a little chicken nugget laying on the floor without arms or legs anymore. Like this. And that mod in Chivalry 2 was hilarious because it felt really fun to be able to just keep running around without arms or legs and stuff like that. I remember there was another mod that was like a deathmatch mod where you spawned and you were a little bit tinier than usual. And then the more people you killed, the bigger you got and the more damage you did. So eventually you could just walk around and you'd, kill your opponents. There would be no opponent to defeat you unless you got tickled to death. Now, I haven't seen this that well either in the FAQ of Chivalry 2 or anything like this, and as I mentioned in the last video, I might try to, it depends on you guys if you can assist me on this one, to see if we can get an interview with Tornbanner and sit down and figure out all the questions, and then we'll gather up some community questions and post them all to the right people. However, the mods, I haven't seen it mentioned anywhere, and this is where I'm a little bit curious, and I have a feeling we will see mods as well as custom maps for Chivalry 2. I just think that the only thing that will happen here is that maybe what will happen is that we will have to wait a little while before we get the mods. I don't know how Tornbanner plans this, because on Epic Games I haven't seen an easy way to mod a game. While on Steam you have Workshop, which makes everything very easy to add as a mod and use and play with. You don't have to do much, there's not much user error, it's basically plug and play, click to download and click to play. It's not very difficult to play with mods on Steam. However, on Epic Games, I don't know if they're going to open up for modding before Epic has a modding section. I don't know if Epic will ever add a modding section to their store, but I would hope so. So the big question here is really, will they open up for modding and these kind of, custom creation things before the game is also on Steam? Or are they going to hold it back until the game is on Steam? Now, in my mind, I have this feeling that Tornbanner will wait with opening modding and map creation until Steam is launched. Because on Steam, there's a much easier, user-friendly way to interact with mods and mod authors and such and such. But there's still potential to mod the game without being on Steam. And this is where you have like, Nexus mods for Skyrim mods and stuff like this. Where you can just get a mod from a website and you can, put it into your files and you can play on these custom servers or custom maps or, use custom game modes and stuff like this. And maybe if they do it like they did in Chivalry 1, now I don't remember exactly how it worked, but I remember I could just join a server and the server would download what I required and I could play. And if this is the case and we can host our own servers and basically do, how Counter-Strike does it, where you can join a server and it'll download what you're missing to be able to play. And maybe they will do this for Chivalry 2, that when you have your own server you're allowed to set it up so the server can download files for the client and install it for them while you're joining, so you can enjoy, custom mods and maps. I really hope that this will be a thing, but I do think that the way it worked back in the day was also through kind of the Steam Workshop phase of you know, Steam and the game kind of working together to install and make the mods and the game compatible with each other so you could still play it, then leave the server and then go play on a completely normal map. I'm curious to see what you guys think as well though. So if you have any thoughts on how modding, or when you think modding will be a thing in Chivalry 2, be sure to tell me in the comments down below. We had a poll a few days ago as well where we asked about what you think about mods, when we will get it, and if we will get it. I am pretty sure that we will get some mods because, I mean, Chivalry 2 and mods, that sounds like a combination that will just last the game forever, and we can just play the game and have a great amount of time and fun. So we only have to wait and see. Maybe there'll be some more information on this. I mean, they did so far. Tornbanner is very transparent and they are very open, and they seem to be talking about quite a lot of interesting stuff. And I'm very interested to see where they're taking all of this game in general. Will they implement new game modes themselves, and maybe even some of the developers feel like there should be some custom mods or gameplay things, and they're like, wow, we have the tools, we're making the game, we're gonna make this custom game mode for the while where you can play as a chicken and you can jump into a fire to get points for your team or something. I mean, there's so many things you can, but there's so much potential in Chivalry 2, and I think that with a modding scene and custom maps, and you know, Tornbanner supporting the game in general, fixing and maybe adding more content later on down the line, I think Chivalry 2 will be a very healthy game. It's kind of like Mordhau with the mods, where there's a lot of fun you can have with Mordhau and mods, and some of them are even client-side on Mordhau, where you don't even have, the entire server doesn't even have to have the mods. You can have like lightsaber mods, and everything will be lightsabers for you, and that is pretty cool. The question is, will Chivalry 2 even support this kind of play, where you can have custom mods on client-side? Because that could also open up a little door for potential cheating. You know, you have a mod where you can see through walls, or I don't know, see someone's stamina far away. I don't know. I mean, people probably use mods to cheat in some regard as well. However, if you had a great time on this video, let me know down below what you think about mods and the modding scene in general. And was this video worth a like? And if it wasn't, click the dislike. Maybe tomorrow I'll be worth that like at some point. Hopefully I'll see you again in the next video coming along. And if I don't, well, I'm glad you stopped by for a brief amount of time. I've been the Turtle, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video coming tomorrow. Until then, have a good one. Bye bye.